To the program on Egyptian maize. I'm Gunnar Thompson. I will be your host and your guide as we follow a track of clues all across the world trying to solve the mystery of Egyptian maize. That was an individual by the name of Moses. Well, the Bible says that Moses wandered about in the Sinai desert for 40 years. The big problem was that the tribes of Israel were also following around behind Moses, and that means everybody was lost for about 40 years. Well, the Sinai desert just is not all that big. If you've got a good supply of water and a decent camel, you should be able to cross it in about a month. But they wandered around for 40 years, and they were following what they believed was what they should be doing. It was written down in stone, the laws, and Moses was looking for the promised land. Well, perhaps he was looking in the wrong place. Perhaps the promised land was, as many historians in the 18th century finally realized, the promised land was North and South America. The promised land was North and South America. The promised land.
So it says here from the Smithsonian.com. It says for decades, school children have learned that civilization has four ancient origin places: Mesopotamia, Egypt, the Indus Valley, and China's Yellow River. In the past 20 years, researchers have added a fifth member to this select list, the Central Andes, which includes southern Ecuador, northwestern Bolivia, and most of Peru. Alright, you heard that, right? Most of Peru, Jerusalem. Here we know now were pyramids and temples as old or older than those in Egypt. Again, here we go again. It says here, we now know were pyramids and temples as old as or older than those in Egypt. Older than Egypt, people. You're hearing the Smithsonian.com. Older than Egypt. All those hijacks, all those people bringing statics, talking about my theories. Smithsonian.com says there's pyramids older than Egypt here in Peru. Says here, the New World's first monumental civilization from popular archaeology. It says, before the Great Pyramids arose on the ancient Giza Plateau in Egypt, thousands of miles to the west, a thriving ancient civilization began constructing monumental structures not far from the Andes Mountains in what is today Peru. Like the ancient Egyptians, they too were a deeply religious people, creating what they believed would be a lasting legacy to their gods and kings. Unlike the ancient Egyptians on the other side of the world, however, these people would eventually pass into oblivion. There were no ancient records and no pottery, other than buried structures to testify of their existence. It would be left to